What is that you're doing? Remember? Tickle, tickle net?
Tickle him in the net when you catch him.
And then put the net down flat on the ground, right? Today's the opening day of lobster season in Florida, which we call mini season or sportsman season. And it's one of the most looked forward to seasons for me, like since I was a little kid. Connor and I have been practicing and talking about it for a while now. The basic things you need: a tickle stick, a net, a light, and of course your dive flag and free dive gear. And you got to have a gauge in the water to be able to measure them when you catch them. General technique is obviously go find rocks or ledges, and I personally look under there and I tickle them out. Go tickle, 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 get them all the way out one at a time, and then pin the net down on them like that, and then you use the tickle stick to kind of hold them in the net. But I really like grabbing them with my hands, and with these good gloves that we have now, that's usually what I'll do, is I'll reach in there with the tickle stick and tickle them out and just pounce on them with my hands, and I can catch a lot of them really quickly like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
And in the States, in the US, you're not allowed to use anything with a hook or anything that can puncture them. So no pole spears, no guns, no hooks, no gaffs. These are the tickle sticks they usually sell, which are not my favorite. I'd rather have one that I make that has a little more to get behind them. And I'm basically just took a...
That's my tickle stick.
That's your tickle stick, you're right. A piece of pipe, flattened it down, and that's what we got. I shot a nice little lobster there, but she had eggs, so I just put her right back in the same hole. We'll keep going, find more. Those are the kind we're looking for. Grab him by the antennas, Connor. Grab it, Connor. Hold him right here where I got him, by both antennas. Down a little low. One hand. Come here. Is your hand? Hold him like that. Pick it straight up. Pick it straight up. Yeah, Connor. Look at that one. He does. No. That one's a short one. And you need to measure them in the water. You should not be measuring them in the boat. So you have to have one of these in the water with you. We brought this one out just for video purposes. So we're just back in from a quick 2 or 3 hours of lobstering right out front here in Stewart. And we've got enough for dinner. It was kind of tough this year. There weren't as many as we usually see, but Curtis got one real nice big one here. So that'll be good. It's interesting to see, like, this is a legal lobster and the thing looks so tiny, and this is like a big proper one. And then these are all pretty good sized, but that's good. You also got to keep them alive until you get back. That way they can check them. And,
they have crunching jaws.
They do. They have crunching jaws. You don't want to get bit by that, because they take shells and they crush it in their mouth and then they eat it.
They are like serrated teeth.
What else can you tell them about lobsters? Do you know how to tell a male from a female?
Males don't have egg cases.
That's
females do.
That's right. And see this last leg? That's a male. On a female, the last leg will have
spikes.
See this little pincher? She uses that
to carry her eggs off.
Exactly. She uses that to take her eggs on and off. And then underneath her tail, she's also got this.
The egg cases.
That's where the eggs like kind of hang off of these little filaments. So you really need to check closely when you get the females to make sure there's no little eggs in here, because even if there's a couple, you know, that's against the law, and the Marine Patrol will knock you for that. But we're gonna take these little ones and tail them. We'll probably keep all the legs, and then this big one we'll split whole and put it on the grill. Take the gills and the guts out. Put a little butter and garlic. Is that what you want to have for lunch?
So these lobsters are Florida spiny lobsters. These are a different kind.
Different kind than what?
No other kind. Like.
What's the best way to catch them?
These lobsters, you know how to catch them? These lobsters are fragile. Their bones are not
This is
hard.
It's an exoskeleton.
Yeah, I know. This is its legs. It has tiny spikes on it. Right?
So you know why they're so spiky?
And they have and I gotta show you something.
Okay, so let me show you.
They have some white dots on their selves.
What are those supposed to look like?
Eyes.
That's right. So that predators, when they see them from behind, think that that's the eyes. But you know why they're so spiky?
For protection.
For protection, and when they go in a hole, they're facing out like this, and they push down with their legs, push down like that, so they lift their body up, and all these spikes get caught in the top of the rocks, and it makes it harder for them to be pulled out of the rocks. What likes to eat lobsters?
Hogfish.
Very true.
Sharks.
Nurse sharks and some other ones. What about the sea turtles?
No.
I think loggerhead turtles like to eat them. They're always under the ledges. What about stingrays?
Wait, look at this.
That's the meat.
And they have tiny spikes right here. That protect for digging into the sand without getting out of the cave.
How big do you think this one is?
About one. Oh my gosh! The jaws! The jaws! Oh my god.
How big do you think this one is?
About 80 pounds.
He's probably pretty close to 80 pounds. And that's probably what I'll put when I.
Look at these white.
That's his jaws. See right there?
The white.
And they use all these other things to pull stuff into their jaws there, and then they crush it. Pretty cool, huh?
You know what? A really cool thing about lobsters? Let me see.
How do they make that noise?
Yeah. Do you know how they make that noise?
They just make their jaws and press it near their tummy.
Yeah. You know where it is. So look, turn him over. So you see where that orange stripe is right there?
Yeah.
So, and then you see this is part of the base of his antenna. He rubs that against that orange stripe. And that's what makes that noise. Now let's see if we can make a bigger noise on this big one. Very lively. Ooh.
Does that hurt?
You do that underwater, the hogfish and the grouper are gonna come running.
And look, the meat inside the...
We can eat those. We can eat that, and we can eat the legs. We boil them up and we'll crack them.
I touched the jaws.
Yeah. So what do you say to the lobsters?
Thank you for the meat. Thank you for the clean catch. Thank you for the nice meal.
That's right.
Daddy,
Great day.
this is
Let's wrap it up.
strange.